You are listening to Loud on the Set with Kyle and James.
A level-headed movie critic meets a loudmouth movie cynic. And action!
All right, welcome back to the show. My name is Kyle.
This is James.
And today, James, what are we doing?
Time travel.
Cue obligatory dumb time travel sounds.
How do you know that's not what time sounds like?
Who the fuck is talking?
Whoa,
Out of
wait!
line.
Oh,
That's like gravitational waves.
Who the fuck is talking again?
they've been here the whole time.
You need a clock.
Maybe.
To go backwards.
Now who the hell is that?
Why are there
Alright.
clocks in time?
Introduce
That's
our
the
guest,
place
Kyle.
where they're useless.
We have a panel to discuss time travel today. And any day, because time travel. But joining us today, Richie is back.
Howdy.
Welcome, Richie.
Hey.
Alright, Richie's second appearance.
Hey,
Yeah,
I came directly from the last show.
you did.
Jumped to this show.
It happened. That was exactly right. Excellent.
Nice.
Welcome, Richie. Aaron's here. Welcome back, Aaron.
I'm in the darkest timeline right now.
Aaron's like a fucking mainstay in this show.
The
man.
parallel line of Aaron's life. And also, Josh is joining us. Hey, Josh.
As a person with a goatee, I resent the alternate timeline evil.
Oh, another great South Park where they do the evil alternate Cartman and everybody has their little goatees. It's great.
Alright.
Anyway, we're talking time travel today. So, what's the deal with time travel? Am I right?
It is the sloppiest hack, like, oh crap, we've done everything else. Let's do a time travel episode.
Yeah, right? Doesn't time travel pop up in either, like, the dumbest films, where it's just the stupidest plot device ever, or the whole movie is, like, designed around time travel, and they try and do it well, right?
Right?
Yeah.
I'm thinking of X-Men when you say that it's the stupidest thing ever, right?
Yep. And then there's...
That was an interesting take
You say
on
that
time
to
travel.
the best X-Men movie. That's sad.
Which one are we talking about? Days of Future Past?
Days of Past, Future.
Days of-
The one, the Wolverine
days which are
bone
not
claws
today,
one.
but a different day, which is not now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, along those lines, we were talking about really terrible movies. I gotta say, everyone's favorite, not mine, Back to the Future. Central device is time travel, but it's a loose movie. Terrible time travel, and it's bad.
But why? You're gonna have
Yeah,
to...
so-
He's gonna talk about the Polaroid.
Yes.
He's gonna talk about the picture.
Oh, is this the fading tree nonsense?
yeah.
That's stupid. Don't get me wrong.
We're gonna get there.
Okay, so we have some very bright people in this room. Some theoretical scientists in here.
Not me.
Theoretically, we're scientists. Yeah,
Theoretical
that's right.
science.
Some hobbyist
Theoretically,
theorists.
scientists. Damn.
So let's talk about time travel, because obviously time travel gets discussed all the time, but it's not even real, right?
I mean, we're traveling through time right now, Kyle.
Yes.
1 second per second.
So how do we even quantify what good or bad time travel is? Because I feel like that's where our discussion is going to go to.
It needs
Movies
to be-
that have good and bad time travel.
It needs to be self-consistent. It needs to make sense within the context of the story. I feel like, as far as Back to the Future goes, I like Back to the Future, and I feel like it sets up rules for itself, and it pretty closely follows those rules. The rules may be nonsense with the fading picture and stuff like
88
that.
miles an hour.
Yeah, and Biff apparently dies when he
Vulcan,
doesn't
88
exist in
miles an
time. I don't know, something. But you know the game. You know, all right, got to hit 88 miles per hour. If we don't fix this thing, then Marty's going to fade into the ether.
So does that mean that something like Hot Tub Time Machine is also good time travel, where they just say the hot tub can transport us through time, and that's the end of it?
So that's the rules.
I would say, yeah.
Yeah?
I mean,
I think
that's
so.
what you're
Solid.
getting. The point where the rules are so sloppy. The rules are so, like,
Well, give us an example.
of good or bad.
Good.
Let's go good.
What's the best time travel movie you can think of? Let's go around the table, because I'd like to hear this too.
We're going straight.
We're going straight into it. Let's hit a good one, Josh.
Clarification: best movie that does time travel well, or best movie?
Best time travel in a film.
Okay.
It can be a shit film.
I will start off, speaking of shit films with pretty good time travel.
Alright.
It's it's an adjacent cause. It's not what a lot of people would call time travel, but as much as I hated the Star Trek movies, their version of old Spock coming to a different timeline is clean.
Are we talking about reboot Star Trek?
Reboot Star Trek. So where old Spock goes back, he has no way to return to his timeline. He's stuck there. That was a one-way trip.
Oh.
and he's going to die old next to a much younger version of himself.
And how did he get there? What was the rule that brought him there through time?
He was able to pop into a similar timeline at a different point. So there's no chance that he goes back and kills his grandpa.
It's getting real.
So he can't, like, if that Spock kills baby Spock,
Then he's fucking outie.
no.
No?
Because that Spock never grew up to become him.
Oh.
It's an alternate timeline.
Interesting. Okay.
So because he's playing in a playground separate from the one he started in, he can do anything he wants.
Interesting. Okay.
That doesn't save it from being a shit movie, but they
you
did
thought the
good
movie was
time travel.
garbage? You thought that new Star Trek was good?
I've not enjoyed a single one of the Star Treks yet.
Yeah, the rest of them suck.
That one I will say was the least shit of all of them, but that's the biggest of the short people.
Okay, and would you say I think you already said it, but was Back to the Future your example of the worst time travel in a
It's
movie
not
for
the
you?
worst, but it's really bad.
Okay.
Like their whole thing of, you travel 88 miles per hour and you stop exactly where you will appear in the past. I love this one because the moment you say, okay, but isn't Earth spinning? So if you went back
No.
in time, wouldn't you show up where Earth was at that point in its spin?
Everyone
So
knows
you
we're
have to
on a
account
flat surface.
If you have to account for where you are on the sphere, okay.
Pro basketball players have said the Earth is flat.
I've
so
been watching those videos. I'm highly intrigued
When you
by
look
them.
at all of the different motions they're accounting for, jumping back in time means you should appear in a completely different part of the Milky Way if the Milky Way is your stationary reference point.
Okay, so there's a
You
whole
really
bunch
got
of
very spatial.
there's a whole bunch of physical bullshit that's going on
Every
that
good
prevents
time
it
machine
from.
has to account for how you move in space, too.
Oh, great! Oh, I love where this is going. All right, Aaron, best time travel movie, worst time travel movie,
Oh, best time travel movie. I mean,
or
I can't-
feature of time into you know what I'm fucking saying, right?
I mean, I like Back to the Future because it has so many intertwining things with the second movie. It makes it complex and it makes it interesting. It's like, oh, this is Marty interacting with himself there.
Can you account for the flaws that Josh said?
Probably not. No.
But good enough for you.
I
All
guess
right.
going by what Josh is saying, like a movie that does it simply is good. So something like
Hot Tub Time Machine.
Hot Tub Time Machine is simple, but I'm thinking of
God, we can't leave with Hot Tub Time Machine
Tom
being
Cruise
the best example.
and anyone
the whole
fight
episode.
aliens through time.
Oh, the
Edge of,
Edge of
Tomorrow.
Edge of
Oh,
Tomorrow.
I loved that. Is that a good time travel?
I mean, it sets up the premise and it's simple. He can't really break anything until he gets out of the loop, and it just loops and loops.
Groundhog
and loops.
Day.
Groundhog Day.
So that's why I was asking, because
Good
that is
time
clearly the best time travel movie
Groundhog
that
Day
has
is
ever
the
been.
best one.
I mean, talk about simple. They never address it.
Yeah,
It's
that's
There
just
are
true.
no
a
rules to
fucking
break.
phenomenon.
And
You piss
it's
off God.
all the better for that. Yeah.
You know what's my favorite time travel movie? The one that I think handles it the best? Napoleon Dynamite, because he has the time travel crystals and they don't do shit.
Gotta put in the
The
crystals.
most realistic.
And doesn't he end up
Time
shocking
travel.
himself
What happens?
in the balls just for over and over?
He gets ripped off on the internet and shocks his nutsack.
Yeah,
and
brilliant.
doesn't time travel at all, eh, Richie?
Best time
Time
travel.
traveling 1 second per.
Oh, I like that. All right,
All right,
drop
so
that.
worst time travel, Aaron.
Oh my god, worst time travel.
If you even have an example.
Well, I mean, I had one on here. I was going to say Jumanji.
What?
Does
I didn't
Jumanji
remember that.
feature time travel?
Absolutely. You guys forgot that point? That was the
When they
key
go
point
back?
of the movie.
I
That's-
don't remember
Goes
this.
back.
So, end of the movie, they end the game, friggin'.
Oh, and just shit resets,
yeah,
right?
and they go back. They have
yeah.
all the knowledge of being middle-aged adults now as children.
And having fought fucking jungle monsters for 3 decades conservatively. Imagine the kid that has the memories of fighting jungle monsters for 3 goddamn decades.
They now rule the world, because if you saw Hot Tub Time Machine, that was the whole premise. Is he goes back in time and he becomes the owner of Google and he controls the world.
There you
And
have
it's
it.
no Robin Williams with his jungle powers
So
now.
Jumanji
But when he's like
sucks.
11 years old and it resets, he probably like ran shit in high school, like high school sports and stuff, from like battling fucking
Jungle monsters.
gorillas and stuff like that.
Richie, what's the best time travel movie in your opinion?
Okay, all right.
And the worst you've seen?
Okay, one that I think, and this is like, I think it's the most realistic time travel, but I'm afraid to say it next to these two guys.
That's okay.
Well, shut up.
Everybody has their own opinion. They just contradicted each other
It's,
directly.
Interstellar. Interstellar.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So good. Because that's like real. That's something that I have
Been
always. That's something that I grew up with, you know.
living around a supermassive black hole. It's
No,
life.
but that was always like time dilation was always the most fascinating thing to me about deep space. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they can attest to it because I've come to them and been like, wait a minute. Because I'd be like, if astronauts go up in a ship and they have a clock and they come back down and the clock is
Faster.
in a different spot, isn't that just real life time travel? They've legit gone into the future.
And I'd
even if it's
hazard to
by
say-
a fraction of a second.
Yeah, that's the movie that has done it most closely to the technology and like area we're at in
Absolutely.
time right now.
I think when that movie came out, that was the highlight of every like physicist's life when they got to say, "Yeah, that's real."
Oh, they got it right.
I gotta check this one out. But when that first came out, Neil deGrasse Tyson and Phil Plait both went online like, I don't know if that's how time travel's gonna work around a black hole. And Kip Thorne, the guy who literally wrote the text they used to talk about general relativity.
General, come on, Josh, come on.
There we go.
He caught it. He caught
Nerd
it.
cred slowly dropping.
Kip Thorne is the expert on supermassive black holes, was able to say to both of them, no, actually, that's correct.
Oh.
And both of them, to their credit, recanted gracefully.
Boom.
Like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, that's,
Roasted.
Well, Kip was the writer for the movie. Like,
Science
he
advisor,
wrote-
yes.
Oh,
No,
cool.
he wrote the scientific parts of it. Like, the director, like, sort of put in the love story there, but that's...
Well, Richie, look at that. You just hit the nail on the head.
Love is 5-dimensional.
I figured I didn't want to ruin it. I figured one of you guys was going to bring that up at some point.
Well, James is going to shit all over
I
it
had
in
it
a
on my
second.
list.
Oh man!
No, I won't. I won't.
And for the worst one, I'm not
Yes.
going to go with the worst, but I'm definitely going to go with the weirdest. And I've never met someone else who's seen this movie,
Well, here we go.
so that makes it a great one to talk
Yeah,
about.
let's
right?
do it.
One that no one's ever heard of or will ever see. It's called Predestination. It has Ethan Hawke. It's like from the last
nice.
like 10 years. I forget how I saw it on like Netflix or I don't.
A plane.
But
You're
this is a spoiler because no one's ever seen it.
yeah,
and,
who
like, no
fucking
one-
cares? It's not
But
even real, apparently.
through time travel and medical procedures, they're in the movie. There's a man and a woman, and they have a baby, and then in the end, you realize that they're all the same person.
Oh, what the fuck?
Blorch!
I've
It's,
heard of this movie.
Unreal. I like when I got to the end of it, I was like, I feel like carrots and peas are in my head right now. I don't know what just happened. It's like it was the weirdest. Check it out. I kind
Yeah.
of just ruined it for you, but
That's all right.
It's going to be all the better now.
but oh my god, it's so
Ethan
weird.
Hawke
Oh.
babies himself
Like
from
the
both
baby
sides.
is born and goes back in time and like becomes his own dad, but his mom is from a further back in time and she had a sex
man.
change and like it's
Oh, man.
super weird.
See,
and
this
it's
is
also like kind of futuristic because like it. Well, you'll never mind.
Just watch the
just leave it alone.
That's the kind of time travel movie that I actually like the most, is the one that leaves you just thinking, like, what the hell is happening? Does
Yeah.
this make any sense?
It's like there's people have like made charts for it on
Yeah.
like, timeline.
Uh-huh.
The real
Things.
names.
Oh my god. All right, so
love it.
not to take away from your guys' best and worst, but just for a moment, we should consider the full timeline of the Terminator series.
Oh
Yes.
my god, you got to talk about.
Oh, that
Terminator.
counts.
Because
I'm
it like
sure.
a nest of rats have just like traveled through time 87
But you can only
times.
go back if you're organic or have organic stuff on the outside, but no sweat, bro. We'll just paint you with stem cells, then send a murder tank back in time.
We fooled time.
That idiot.
We fooled it.
Oh wait,
I
is that what?
stopped
Is that the
watching
deal?
these
Is that it's organic and the T? What was it? The T-2000?
I don't acknowledge past Terminator 2.
Yeah,
What was,
me neither.
what
Right?
was Terminator 2?
There's
What
no-
was the metal guy?
There's no other
The
ones.
bioorganic Terminator 1.
So he wouldn't have been able to go back in time. Is that what we're saying?
Because it was T99, T1000, T2000.
All right, we'll
I
get
thought
to
you
it.
said
Let me do my
T2.
shit.
James, yeah.
All right.
Here we go. I'd already mentioned. What did I mention already? Napoleon Dynamite. That was my joke best, right?
Oh, that was a
Really?
joke.
My. I guess I'll do another joke best. Bill and Ted. I love Bill and Ted.
That was an amazing time travel
Yeah?
movie,
That's awesome.
except for San Dimas time. That made no sense.
San Dimas time.
Except for San Dimas High School football rules.
Yeah.
That is true.
He loves San Dimas. Yeah. Wait, but what's San Dimas time? What is that? What is that?
What they George Carlin says to him, like, hey, the time keeps advancing in San Dimas. So you only have the same amount of time you would have until your report is done.
Oh, yeah, that's
to do all the time
yeah,
travel.
yeah, yeah.
Like, okay, but then
But can't we
why
just
don't
go
you just
like
travel to a
earlier?
little bit
Can't we
before?
just go earlier?
But then George Carlin's only point I can think of is that they increase the likelihood of self-interfering showing up in their own timeline if they travel back before. So
you're covering his ass.
I'm trying to cover their ass, but it also doesn't make a ton of sense because, again, any good time travel, you're going to an alternate timeline, not your own timeline.
So does that mean any version of time travel where you're going to any version of time travel, you're traveling to an alternate timeline?
No. Only good time travel.
Only good time travel. Okay. So I was going to say, does that mean that nothing can affect anything else then?
If you are interfering with yourself, that makes you pretty high up in the shitty time travel.
Okay.
All right.
So that shit borks it all to hell.
Usually.
But wait,
Okay.
I have a nominee for the worst.
Okay.
Let's do it.
And it hasn't been mentioned yet. I'm sitting on gold right now.
Time cop.
I can't wait.
That was my thought right now too.
Did you just spoil it?
No. This might be even worse, but I can't wait to. Here's my gold. Ready for this one? The worst time travel I've ever seen in a movie. Superman.
Oh!
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's
What,
a
do
good
I win?
point.
Wait,
yeah.
which Superman?
The original where he spun
When he
the earth.
flies
without-
around the
He
earth to
just
make it
changed-
go backwards.
Yes. Do I win?
I just have why is the sun rising in the west and setting in the east? This is really stupid.
If he did that, I mean, if he knocked the Earth out of its rotation, wouldn't the Earth kind of just fall out of orbit? Wouldn't he just kill us all?
I don't think the orbit would be the worst
People
part.
would
It's
just
the
drift
reversal.
off of
It's
it,
the
right?
momentary change in direction. Like,
Yeah.
we're traveling.
That would be
thousands of
very.
miles
That
an
would be
hour.
very jarring.
And to have to whoop,
Yeah.
all of our buildings would fall over. We'd all go sailing 100 miles to the
oceans
east.
would-
How
Yeah.
slow
Wash
would he
around.
have to
Much slower than he did
accelerate
it.
You know what would be
the Earth to-
fantastic is there's a re-release of that movie and there's just a 10-minute scene of the Earth being destroyed before he sends it back in time.
Whoa.
And then he just goes like, "Oh, whoops, this wasn't going to work anyways. I guess I killed the rest of the planet."
Oh,
The end.
shit. Time to go find a new planet to be protector of, because this one's a hot pile of garbage now.
All right, James,
That was
best
a good.
one.
That was a good.
That's the
pick.
worst.
Best one that you've
No,
seen.
I'm willing to pass on my best one and just say Bill and Ted's is so enjoyable. It turns out that Josh thinks it's a pretty good time travel too. So
It's
I'll
not
go
the
with that.
worst.
You go ahead, Kyle. That's the worst.
The best one that I've seen, and I know that you guys can help fill me in here, is Primer. So,
Ooh, wait a minute. Did I
was
just
a tough
watch that? Is that a weird one?
did people
was a weird one.
get into weird metal boxes and then wake up a day before they got into them?
I don't remember.
Okay, but anyway, it's essentially the plot is that two guys homebrew time travel in their garage, and they're
Yes, I do remember
And
this
they're
now.
like, okay, this is weird, and I don't really remember exactly what the rule for it is, but when you get in, you're in there for so real time passes while you're in it, but when you come out, you're in the past some certain amount of time that relates to how long you stayed in it initially, right? And again, this is another one where the charts are necessary, because I watched it the first time and I went, I don't have a fucking clue what's going on. But it's cool because it's also one of those films where you have to watch it again, because even from the first scene, the last scene and everything that happens is informing everything that's in the background of the shots, all the character motivations and everything. It's endlessly stuck together in an almost infinite loop that's there. But anyway, I liked that one because it was the movie was focused on time travel and tried to build a really complex weaving of time travel there. But I don't know how accurate any of that shit is, but I would like to know.
It's very indie too.
Yeah.
as I
Yes.
recall.
Yeah,
And
it was
there's,
super
you
low
do a
budget.
lot with a little. There's no special effects. It's
Right.
I watched that one, and then after the first viewing, I hated it. It was the dumbest movie ever. I didn't get why they thought this was such a great time travel movie. And then I found out that, like Groundhog Day, you're only seeing a fraction of the timelines that actually unfold. And there's a lot of events that happen in the background or are referenced that you don't actually get to see.
Right.
So once I realized that, watching it again with my little graph, going okay, well, yes, he mentioned something that hasn't happened yet. Like any good time travel movie, it benefits from watching more than once. That being said, there is one huge inaccuracy. How do they poop while waiting 3 days to go back in time 3 days? It's a little metal box. There's no shitter in there.
There might be a little pooper in there.
It's
Maybe
not. It's a little box.
They shit themselves in there.
But then that also informs the crazy people are time travelers idea. Every time you see a person holding their hand by their head before the event of cell phones, you assumed they were insane, especially if they were talking to themselves. They're just time travelers, and they're covered in poop and pee, because they had to travel back in a time closet.
There you go.
San
Wow.
Francisco is
That's
the
what my
hub
dad
for
used to
time
say.
travel.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I have a couple more that I want to pitch because I want to know if anybody's even seen these movies to discuss them. But has anyone seen the film Time Crimes?
Oh, but
Crimes.
this sounds amazing.
I think I've seen that.
Is this the sequel to Time Cop?
No.
Or possibly the prequel?
It's very different. It's
Synopsis.
a
Is it kind of like Minority Report, where they're trying to stop crimes before they happen? They know-
it's like a Minority Report's kind of time travel,
Yeah,
right?
a little bit.
Precognitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think it's a foreign language film. I think it's a Spanish film. But it's really interesting, and it has those kind of layers. But yeah, it's a really, really simple story that you don't even know is about time travel unless, you're basing it off of the title, Time Crimes, until you get, a portion of the way
I
through.
got a pretty good idea of it.
And then it takes a couple of acts and it uses the same scenes and everything and tells a really different story but following the same kind of plot. It's kind of challenging to talk about, but I encourage you to watch it if you haven't seen it. The other one I want to mention is, I don't even know if this really counts as time travel or not, but it's a film called Coherence. Has anybody
It sounds
heard of
familiar.
this?
Oh wait, is
From-
this like late 2000s?
Yeah, 2013, and it's about a group of friends that are at a dinner party and there's an eclipse happening. The eclipse part of it is all weird and everything.
Oh, and there's the alternate versions of themselves next door.
Yes,
Yeah.
and they kind of go through like alternate timelines and stuff, but they get into some really crazy theoretical shit that I did not follow, so I didn't get the most out of this movie, but it's definitely worth watching because it's really interesting, and the one really cool thing about it is that characters were given motivations and not lines, so they're all improvising scenes based on information that they know, and other people don't know if those characters are exactly who they say they are, or if they've been manipulated by the time process throughout. So they interact with each other in very genuine and interesting ways all throughout the movie, which I think extends into why I enjoy time travel films, is because there's usually, when they're good, a great deal of thought that goes into how all the characters are interacting, and especially when there's themes and stuff that you can take away from the movies, and it's not just, I think Primer kind of errs on the side of just, this is a really cool time travel thing that just fucking blew your mind. Deal with it, but when there's more to the story and there's more depth to it, I find that to be more interesting.
I think that's
so I'd
the thing-
recommend that as well.
That's the thing that makes time travel movies interesting at all. It's just the fact that by the nature of time travel, the way you interact with the world is totally different. You see this obviously in the time loop movies like Groundhog's Day, where the knowledge of every event that's going to happen totally changes his outlook and gives him this like almost omnipotent power.
Precognizant. I'd say that same idea makes it a time travel movie. He's not traveling through time, but he's aware of what will happen.
So what all genres can we lump into the time travel?
Wait, I got
category?
one for you.
Yeah.
Ready for this one? It's another stunner, but Richie reminded me of it because he was talking about he was talking about a baby that was its own dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a movie out there, friends, called The Lake House.
Oh man.
Is this
You know what I'm talking about?
Is that like
Keanu Reeves
and
Sandra Bullock?
And Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, man.
reunited.
It's a mailbox, right?
Yep.
It's the mailbox. Is
Worst
time machine.
ever.
Right?
You ever see the?
Refresh my memory,
you ever
Richie.
see-
What happens?
well, okay, one of them is 2 years ahead of the other one.
I think Keanu
There's
Reeves is
this
ahead
one-
of Sandra Bullock.
One
right?
house, and somehow they figure out that the mailbox, they can write letters to each other in the mailbox. Like if Keanu Reeves puts it in the mailbox, she gets it in her time.
How is this possible without
And
an
he-
eclipse?
I know, right? But the best thing about that movie is the Family Guy cutaway about that movie.
Oh,
I don't remember it. Damn
Oh
it.
my god, I don't even know if I should get into it.
you should get into
All right,
it.
well, so
You set it up.
they set it up, and they're like, so the mailbox is the whatever you put in the mailbox that they get later, and then
I think
it just has Keanu Reeves, and he just turns toward the mailbox and just unzips his pants, and it's phenomenal.
That's Hot Tub Time Machine,
Leave it-
That's
leave it to
that's
Family
where they
Guy.
went with that.
One of those influenced the other. I'm not sure which.
Yes.
But yeah,
Oh my God.
I haven't seen the movie though. Is it? I hear it's cute.
I just
You
watched
know
the
a
Family
lot
Guy.
about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I watched it because I think it got a lot of hype for a moment there, right? When it came out. I don't know.
Well, it's like
There's
it's
a lot of
it's a
real
romance
dumb.
movie.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
rom-com time travel is almost its own thing, right? The rom-com type.
Rom-com.
There's usually no rules to it. It's just that somebody can phase in and out of existence.
Mailboxes.
You know, the mailboxes,
It's a
exactly.
mailbox, man.
And it's just to kind of, what if you could only be with that one person for like 1 hour of your life, And if you could go back and do it, like all those dumb movies.
What's there, like, About Time and the Time Traveler's
Yes, the
Wife?
Time Traveler's Wife.
Oh, yeah.
There's a really old one with
yeah.
Christopher Reeve. Speaking of Superman, before he was turning the world back in time,
He was screwing
doing
up time some other way.
So screwing it up differently. Yeah.
Wow.
What about H.G. Wells?
The
Oh
Time
yeah,
Machine?
the Time Machine.
That movie? You guys seen that?
So I haven't seen that in so long. What even
Hold on.
happens in that
That
movie?
1960s
Crazy.
movie or the
Yeah,
1990s
the 60s.
remake?
The
I've only read
60s.
the
Oh, I
book.
haven't seen the original.
Oh. Well, I'm sure the remake is the same,
None
or
of
is
us,
it?
none of us are on the same page here.
All I remember
eh?
from the remake is the moon explodes at some point for some reason.
It'll do that.
Because they did
Yeah.
something to it.
Does
Like,
anyone know the classic story? 'Cause it's
Yeah,
a book,
I read
right?
the book.
What's the classic story?
The story is this guy's wife is run over by a horse,
Sucks.
I think.
Okay.
And he's
do
like,
that.
this sucks. I'm going to build a time machine to make sure that doesn't happen.
It's a beautiful time machine.
He goes back in
Yes.
time. He's like, hey, don't stand there. There's going to be a horse that'll hit you. And she's like, what? Okay. And she walks away, and then, like, a different horse runs her over.
lesson learned.
That dumb trope.
Immediately,
it's like,
he says,
it's like Final Destination.
Right, oh my god! Final Destination.
after one try, he goes, I guess fate will always make her die. I give up. And
Not-
he goes
didn't even
back in
try
time.
to-
Let's push the other horses away.
Yeah.
That's it? That's
Or
the
just
whole
like,
story?
Let's just have her
Pick her
not
up.
be there.
That's
Just-
the opening of the story. The end of the story is he doesn't go back in time. He goes to the future where the world has been destroyed, and now there's these monsters who live underground.
But he goes
and
like
these
millions
other
of years
people.
into the future,
Yeah.
doesn't he? Like,
If you
humans
buy-
have evolved like completely
Haves versus
differently.
have-nots.
So they
but
didn't
in
Back to the
extreme.
Future it and put it like 20 years.
No,
and
no,
They
it's
went
like-
like millions of years.
Morlocks.
Wow.
He time travels into a movie about class
Morlocks.
divides.
And Elohim.
And then it's over.
Yeah.
And it's over? Wow, that sucks.
Well,
He
like
has
in
to
the
fight
future, there's
the
like
monsters.
humans have evolved into monsters that live underground. There's like above ground people and there's like below ground people, and then they fight.
Should.
What's super weird is the
pretty-
below
it's
ground
pretty out
people
there,
are
man.
darker complected than the above ground people.
What do
Little
you
bit of
think
racist.
that implies?
But also, wouldn't the people exposed to UV?
Don't try and...
Maybe,
Yeah.
they want to swap.
Yeah.
They want to
We're
switch
much
places.
better suited for down there, and you're better suited
All
for
right,
up here.
we hate each other to the core, but can we agree on one thing?
Yeah.
It's fucking hot up here, and you
terrible.
guys can probably deal with the sun better.
We all
Should
need
we just swap?
parasols to survive.
Oh man.
So now I'm curious what the first kind of depictions of time travel were in medium. I mean,
Wow.
I don't know if anybody knows that or if in movies or anything, but that would be curious on what the latest
so-
gonna take
Like,
on
I
it
would
is.
say-
or something like that.
It depends on what you call time travel, because there's a lot of things that depict the freezing of time, which is definitely an aspect
out of this
of
world.
time travel.
Zach Morris in Saved by the Bell.
Well, yeah, he might be God. There's a legit argument to say he's God. It's not a movie, but a great depiction, and those altogether too troubling for a kids show. There's a dumb action space Cartoon Network thing called Ben 10, and there's
Oh, you're so young.
Why
man.
do you know about Ben 10?
Yeah.
because I watch TV sometimes. And they go to this abandoned research site, which is totally ripping off one of the nuclear testing facilities. And they find this monster there that anything it touches withers and dies. And it moves
Know how
super
he
fast,
feels.
so they can't interact with it. But they're trying to figure out what it's doing, and they look and they see this long worm-like thing that moves at super speed around. And what they eventually realize is this was a guy who's a janitor at this facility who got caught in the time explosion that ruined the place. And he's trapped in
Time
the
explosion.
whatever explosion nuclear bomb they were testing. He's stuck in a much faster reality than everyone else. And he carries this reality around him in a little bubble. So this super speed worm thing they're seeing is his four-dimensional self interacting with multiple points. So anything he walks past, like a flower, exists in his bubble for like 10 months with no sunlight. So the first thing he does is he goes to the phone to try and call his family, but the phone degrades around him. And this monster that keeps attacking him is him trying to get help from these people who have showed up who are moving super slowly to him. It's like, oh, this guy's in hell.
That's
This
pretty
is-
unique.
This is a
pretty
kid's
out there,
show.
man.
You would have been better off sticking with the fucking Care Bears, man. What the hell?
Care Bears have time travel?
No, but they're simple. You know,
No.
little teddy bears. That's
I'm
it.
sorry if this overwhelmed.
No, I think that's an interesting point too. Is that we just talked. There's so many different types of time travel. So what are the unique and different things that we've seen in movies that have utilized time
I
travel?
got one for you, Kyle.
Yeah.
You're gonna like this one. Contact.
Contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because you mentioned the other day that you really love that movie.
I do really
She
love that
drops
movie.
through the machine. What do they call the machine? The machine, right?
It's
Whatever.
Matthew
I don't-
McConaughey is the name of the movie.
Spectacular
the
portal.
spaceship.
Yes.
Never mind.
And to everybody at NASA and on Earth, it's instantaneous. She just does a straight free fall, but to her, she has a whole experience, right?
Right.
So what I do want to know is why I recorded 17 hours of it. Or whatever.
Yeah.
You know whatever.
So there's
Reveal.
so that I guess kind of
There you
goes
go.
into the we can make a wormhole-esque black hole time. I guess.
Explosion. Time explosion.
Time explosion. Yeah.
Time explosion. So you've got black holes and time dilation that happens in those things. We have straight time travel where people can move from one point on their timeline to another point. And then what are the other types of things that we've seen in the movie?
Precognition.
Turning back the
Precognition counts as one, I think. Freezing time counts as one. And one that we haven't touched on, but I think has to be included because the relationship we've seen, especially around the black holes, of space and time being so closely linked. What is it called? It came out at the same time as The Illusionist. It's the Hugh Jackman...
Magician.
Prestige.
Prestige.
Oh man, that's like my favorite movie.
That's
Spoiler
a-
alert for the Prestige coming at you.
They made a time machine
Right.
and a cloner. Because anything that teleports you in space puts you in time as well. They put the guy 12 feet across the stage or something. But what if the revealing pad that they're teleporting him to was 100 miles away? Would it still work? Assumedly. If it was 1,000 miles away. If it was a couple light years away. That's an instantaneous teleportation. They make a new you in that new place. You can break some of the rules we're talking about, knowing things before they happen, if you can move that much in space instantaneously.
Oh yeah, because you would. Yeah.
Interesting, yeah.
Holy shit.
I'm applesauce.
Yeah, this is fucked.
I don't know how closely to Einsteinian relativity that movie followed.
It does
Sure, why
not, because theoretically the signals have to travel through the copper wire, blah, blah, blah. But it's instantaneous teleportation, and anything that does that enables you to do precognition, at least.
Man, how good is that movie?
That was a great movie.
God, I love
So good.
That's a good
I've never
movie.
even heard of it.
You
The
never-
Prestige?
Oh my
What the
God.
fuck? We just ruined it.
It's got David Bowie
That's David Bowie.
as Nikola Tesla.
Yeah.
Yeah, as David Bowie. It's
Have you not seen this?
It's good. You should watch it.
Everybody panel, I got another
All right,
precognition
let's go.
for you.
Let's go.
Let's just do
Yes.
quickly because we spend way too much time on this fucking movie.
We
Kyle.
spent just enough time.
Arrival.
Yeah, great.
That was good.
I haven't seen it.
That was good.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
You
blew
shut
it.
your mouth. That was an excellent film.
This is where the hate mail comes from.
Space-tacular. It
We
was
got a lot
so
of-
good.
we got a
The
lot
only
of
thing
hate
that was
for our
dumb
review
as
of Arrival.
fuck in that
I'm
movie,
sure.
like, after this wonderful,
Screenplay.
beautiful thing, the fucking spaceship, like, oh, we're leaving to go back to our, just kidding, we're dust in the wind.
Poochie had to go
What the
back to
hell
his home
is
planet.
that? What the
Poochie.
fuck? It couldn't have just gone out of the atmosphere.
I get that joke. That's great, Poochie.
Yes, Simpsons reference.
Yes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, I thought Arrival, again, I'll never be able to convince anybody of this, but I don't predict movies, at all. I'm the last person that picks up on anything in the movie, which is why every time travel film I always see...
Did you know they were going to die in Rogue One?
Had no idea. I always have to see multiple times so I can understand what the hell's going on. I like to find those little pieces. But, straight out the gate, I saw this one from a mile away with how clumsily it was written and, the exposition of everything and aliens and whatnot. And I just saw it coming, and I don't know, it just... I didn't get the big draw to it. But
You're
So you're saying
unappreciated in
they
that
foreshadowed a little strong in this one.
I felt it. I don't... we got some differing opinions about that. But what's the kind of time travel that they're representing in this movie? Because it's different from some of the other stuff that we're talking
Precognition.
about.
Yeah.
Well, it's like
Precognition.
non-linear perception of time.
Right.
Well, and this actually gets into one of the coolest, wiggliest parts of it.
Here we go.
They're predeterministic in that universe. you don't have the potential for the electron to go through, or the photon to go through this gate and not that gate. It will always go through this gate and will have always gone
You
through
talk
that
about
gate.
predestination and you choose to talk about photons.
Yes, photons.
that there's no quantum
Dethroned
uncertainty.
everyone else on top of the
There is
nerd hill.
no quantum uncertainty in that universe. Things always have to happen as they will. She always gets hit
She always
by the
gets
horse.
hit by the horse.
It's the ultimate.
Brad Pitt always gets killed
Wait.
by a bear.
So
That's a
if
different
it's
movie.
non-linear, so the aliens. So spoiler alert, Richie, we're going deep.
There's aliens in this movie.
The aliens
Were
have
they really us?
a non.
no, they were not.
Maybe they are way in the future. I don't know.
We
The
turned into
aliens,
heptapods.
they have non-linear existence in time, right? They can just go and exist, and they're ever present all across time.
Their consciousness exists at all points,
Yeah.
so they perceive time.
Not that
All
it's-
points.
So why
They're
can't they
alive.
fucking see that the decoding process is happening and understand and be able to communicate in
So-
human language when they want to
Because, Kyle, the entire point of the movie was for them to teach the humans their language so that they could perceive time.
so the
Kyle,
point
just-
is that
just-
they're dicks and they could have and
No,
they just wanted to
Kyle,
waste time.
Kyle, just stick to the military one, man. Just stick to your brilliant point of like, why don't they just prevent the military guy from coming on the ship? I don't fucking care. We're out of time.
No,
Why didn't they just?
that's the shitty part about a.
So explain that part because that shit that got all weird to
Why
me. and
didn't
I
they
gave
stop
up.
I'm
him?
loving
No,
this movie.
just the non-linear. If there's non-linear basis of time and they can exist in like any, and participate in any
You're aware
part
of it.
timeline.
You can't change it.
That's the terrifying thing.
But it
about
doesn't
movies.
change, right? So as they get through, they decode the language. They're able to talk.
Did they seem surprised when the bomb went off?
Who?
The aliens.
No.
a little bit
Because they
seemed a little
knew
bit
it was going to
bombed.
happen.
Yeah.
It has always
no.
happened and it will always happen. They cannot change it. Everything is fixed.
I'm with you, Kyle. Total plot hole. Huge.
No,
fucking
that's-
I can,
plot
well,
hole.
that's what
Get outta
this
here.
is the point I want to wrap
Plot!
This
You
is
can't
this is
change
what
it.
I want to bring together. I want to bring together the theoretical side of this and the moviegoer side of this because I'm right in the middle and I'm stuck on this point.
A movie where you cannot violate the things that you know will happen is a boring fucking movie. Like, and today I die. Goodbye, friends.
And
But so
isn't that what the movie is though?
It is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And
Yeah.
you just called it fucking boring.
They did it in the jazziest way possible.
But
But,
by
if you're wondering why
showing-
the heroes didn't win at the end, it's because they always lose.
wouldn't at some point they have had to have made a conscious choice to show up at that point in time on Earth
No,
and
That's the
exist
trick.
like
Is
in
if
that?
you're talking
no
about
free will.
predestination, there's no free will. There are
You
no
have
conscious
no
choices.
choice. Everything. So you want to know the shitty part
But
about
that
the
doesn't
Arrival
make
verse?
any sense.
You're a drug addict. Arrival verse. If you're a drug addict,
I just thanked
you have no choice. You are a drug addict and always will be a drug addict, and you have no hope of changing your life because free will doesn't exist. If one day you get better, you had no choice in that.
This is why I dropped out of philosophy.
Free will is a wonderful sugarcoating for reality. That movie, its most horrifying conclusion, not that there's seven-legged aliens, but that free will doesn't exist and you have no choice.
It's getting very creepy.
All right, Richie hasn't seen it. Let's move on. Otherwise, it's going to come out of fucking Arrival episode. I got two movies to suggest.
I
Can we talk about
wait, I want to
Terminator?
button this up for a second because I will have to just say, on Josh's point, that is exactly my problem with Arrival then, because then it is inherently pointless. The
There
whole
is- life is meaningless.
and that is bullshit. When the rest of the movie and the themes and everything are about,
Love and caring.
being able to be understanding and to. You don't think so?
No, that
All
absolutely
right,
is.
fuck
Oh.
this
Way more
movie.
depressing.
Fucking-
Okay,
I love
all
it.
right.
Aaron, what do you got?
I want to talk about Terminator.
Terminator.
Oh, that's right.
Okay,
yeah.
let's talk about Terminator. Has everybody seen Terminator?
Yes.
Only Terminator.
How
1
many
and
of
2.
them?
One and two, I think I turned 3 off, and then I don't care after that.
Yes. 1 and 2 is where the extent of my knowledge ends
right
with it
there.
too.
1 and 2 have totally reasonable storylines.
Yeah.
The first one is science fiction wise, it's pretty intriguing with the whole he is John Connor's father.
It's a
who
temporal
sent him
loop.
back. It's a temporal loop, exactly. The fun
I
of it
know
is when you get into the the fifth movie, the most recent one, that's where shit just makes no sense and it's
Fifth
amazing.
movie.
What if Go
Did
Fish
they-
were
did
Got up
cats?
to 5?
Did they follow the same time? So this is what I want to know because I understand the most recent one's not the fifth one, right? There's another one that's come
It's
out.
probably it's like Land
No.
Before Time.
Whatever-
It is Land Before Time.
Something just came out and somebody told me that it reboots the timeline or something.
That's the most recent one.
That's
So,
all right.
no.
What they're gonna do is, they did that one, but the next one they're gonna release, to Kyle's point, is gonna be Terminator versus RoboCop.
Versus
Okay, so
Alien
let's
versus
Terminator
Predator.
versus Time Cop.
Let's
a
build
much
this
more
timeline.
compelling film.
I watch either one of those.
Movie one
AVP is
happens.
the shit.
So the original
Oh my
timeline.
God, Richie!
Skynet takes over, kills everybody, bad stuff.
Right.
Kyle Reese goes back.
Yeah.
Gives birth to John Connor. It's a closed time loop. Everything's hunky-dory.
In Terminator
great.
1, right?
Terminator
Yeah.
1.
Right.
The
Terminator 2.
simple loop. It's easy.
Yeah.
Now somehow they've broken that time loop. Liquid Metal Terminator comes back after John Connor's born and tries to kill him then. They undo that, and theoretically they break the loop again by destroying all the stuff that was going to build Skynet. Third movie comes around. For some reason, Skynet's there again. Who knows why?
There's a backup on a cell phone somewhere.
Yeah, they found some old punch cards that had Skynet.
No, seriously, did they ever address that? That's a really
No,
good point.
not at all.
400,000.
Do you want to say
cards.
huge fucking plot hole?
Oh yeah, I mean,
Say it.
the entire series is a huge fucking plot hole,
Not to say
which is why it's amazing. Huge fucking plot hole. There you go,
All right.
huge one. So they go through. They end up saying, "Oh, we can't change the future because predestination is a thing now in this universe."
Oh,
Apparently.
so now it is, but you can break the time loops before and everything?
Skynet is Lord. Skynet will always be Lord.
So Arnold tricks John Connor into just like hanging out during the apocalypse. Jump forward, now there's other bullshit going on where there's like a half Terminator, half human thing that turns out to be nothing important, who's like actually a prisoner from the past.
Man, I'm so
Nothing
glad I saw
interesting
that. What the
happens.
I
And
think we
then
just drop it off after 2. Nothing happened after 2.
you get to movie 5, this is
Not
where
for me.
shit goes so far off the rails it becomes amazing. So the whole point of it is that now you're back at the beginning of the first movie. You're with Kyle Reese while he's in the future. It's him going back in time to start off Terminator 1.
Okay.
Except Kyle Reese goes back in time and the liquid metal Terminator is there. You're like, this isn't right. He's not supposed to be here yet. And then Daenerys Targaryen pulls up in a truck and says, hey, guess what? We're on a whole different timeline, asshole. Get in. And it finds out that Arnold went back before Kyle Reese went back and kidnapped her when a different Terminator was trying to kill her when she was a
What
kid.
even in the
And so now
fuck are you
they've gone
saying
to the
right
farther future, and they're trying to save Kyle Reese now because they need to bang and make John Connor again. But then they go further into the future and blow up San Francisco for some reason.
San Francisco always gets blown up. It's fucking shit.
It's
Yeah,
love
recently,
blowing us up,
Godzilla.
So does
fucking-
North Korea, apparently.
Yeah, no, I saw that. That's pretty good.
So,
Alternate
I highly
timeline.
encourage
Good
anyone to look up a timeline, like, plot synopsis image just to see the rats.
You know, it's
Okay,
just going to
so
be pictures of poop.
One of the things I want to address about what you just said, then, really quick, is the consistency with the rules. So it sounds like
None.
they've done everything. They just want to do every little bit of anything that they can and just
really,
make it up as they go.
You find out the way
And
that
that's
the
bullshit.
non-causal first Terminator that comes back to save him and inspire that we did it through a hot tub.
Yes. Okay. So that's the beginning. Is that
This
there's
is
a hot tub
Terminator
involved.
0.
We should link every time travel movie together because
Oh,
why the
God.
fuck not?
Time cop.
Time
crimes.
They're all time crimes,
Oh,
and Time
oh.
Cop is coming to fix them.
Holy smokes, I just got one.
Nice.
But I don't remember too much about it. Maybe you guys do. Time Bandits.
Yeah!
Bandits. That's a great movie.
Remember that?
Gilliam.
Oh,
Best line of the fucking movie. They slam into nothing and sitting there like, mushing their faces against it, and they say, "Oh, this is what an invisible barrier looks like."
that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite time travel movies, just because it's a fun plot device, and they just have a big adventure around it. You know.
And what's their time travel mechanism? Oh, these are the things God fucked up.
Is that the
They're the
one where
holes in reality we just fall through.
do the kids' parents blow up at the end
They
of that?
touch
Yes.
pure evil.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then it does a really
You
bad
should see
zoom
that,
out
James.
of Earth.
Oh my
where
God,
it's
that's classic. Is
it's
that
all like
80s?
top of house, top of neighborhood, and Earth.
And
Like,
that's the
a
end
really
of
bad
the
zoom.
world. Like, that's the end of the movie. It's
When
just
did
like,
that
oh.
come out? Was that an 80s
I think,
film?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like
Terry Gilliam?
early 80s.
Oh, you got to see that, James. If you haven't
I'm
seen
actually
it,
really
Time Bandits.
disappointed that we haven't seen that plot point from Time Cop come back, where if you touch your future self, you like melt together and explode.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You remember that?
I don't even know if I've ever really seen Time Cop.
Isn't
Because
doesn't he
because
do-
the same matter can't occupy the same space.
You just wait 7 years, then you've changed your cells over.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Because that's, if you guys haven't seen it, that's how the movie ends in its dramatic conclusion is the bad guy from the future touches the bad guy from current time.
And they liquefy?
And they fuse together and explode.
T-1000s.
Yeah,
Obvi.
total T-1000.
Yeah.
Isn't that the one where Jean-Claude does the splits on the Washington?
That's it. That's it.
Well, I mean, he does the
seen
splits.
that
He literally
scene.
does the splits
But
in
that was
every single
Bloodsport.
movie.
Yeah.
No, they always find a way
Yes.
to remind you that
Yes,
he can do
that
the
he can
splits.
It's actually
that.
the same clip. Just put it in
It's a
movie.
writer in his contract.
Yeah,
we'll do the
totally.
splits at least
All right,
once.
I got
What
one
if he
other
can
movie.
still do it?
I got
He
one other
sends
movie.
scripts back that don't have the splits.
What do you think about this one? Ashton Kutcher in Butterfly Effect.
I never saw it.
Ooh.
Me neither. But
Okay,
that was an interesting movie.
So Butterfly Effect, bad movie overall.
It was an interesting
but
idea.
Interesting time
I never
travel
saw it,
though
yeah.
in it.
What's the mechanism?
I forget.
Just that there's there's ripple
Filled with
effects. I mean,
box.
it just basically is talking about the fact that if something happens, on the other side of the world,
It's the ripple.
all the ripples affect everything else. So I don't even know. Is there time travel-y
I
stuff
think he just
in it?
keeps going back and trying
Right.
something else and like trying to correct something.
Yeah.
But every time he tries to correct it, like when he goes back to the present, it's like completely. It's just shit.
So
every
that's
time.
an interesting point about time
But
travel.
in a different way every time. You know what I mean?
To try and
you
get
know,
it to do something different.
Because you assume that like you can go back in time and you can fix things and make them better, but you never know if this is the best timeline you're on or not. Any other changes you make could ruin it. There's another movie like this called Project Almanac. Where it's
I remember that one.
Yeah, they go back and they just dick around in time and change little things, and then huge drastic changes start to happen. And
That's
so
like a trope almost. That shows
Yeah.
up in a lot of stuff. You
But-
squish the butterfly and then humans are fly people in the future.
You mean
also
like
Simpsons.
every I was just gonna say fucking
Simpsons
Rick and
did
Morty has taken that and has just gone like
But Rick
to
and
the
Morty
moon.
also has some of the cleanest time travel in the world because
That's why I wanted to talk
everything is
about
a
it.
different timeline.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Futurama time travel? Because that's my favorite.
That's pretty good.
Oh no, I don't want to get into TV. Look,
No TV.
I don't need TV. But Josh just asked a great question because someone brought up a movie, Butterfly Effect. He's like, what was the medium? And I was just reflecting on all the movies we've talked about today. And let me just gun out the list of
Do it.
the medium.
Yeah, that's exactly that was some point I wanted to get to too.
All right,
That's great.
it's like the vector. Here we go. Just straight up time loops like Groundhog Day. All right, fine, check. Crystals with Napoleon.
Crystal.
Crystals.
Perhaps the most powerful medium.
Just being really fast. The Flash and Batman Superman, right? Mental time travel. X-Men when they just sent Wolverine back by just like the girl touches his head and fucking woo.
That didn't
Right?
make any fucking sense.
All right. So there's mental
Richie,
time travel,
just not
right?
approved.
Precognition?
Check. Precognition. Check. A car. And
car.
the flux capacitor.
A flux
Yeah,
capacitor.
yeah, just
Let's be
driving-
specific.
driving-
DeLorean.
It did have to be a DeLorean.
An
Yeah.
88 mile an hour flux capacitor kitted out DeLorean.
DeLorean. Yes.
Check. A poop box.
Poop box.
Which
Time travel
Aaron just said,
apparatus.
was it by poop box?
It's a poop box. Where
Yeah,
we're
poop
going,
box.
where we're going, we don't need poop.
Poop box. Check. Phone booth.
Phone
Yeah.
booth. There
Phone
you go.
booth. Check. A spinning of the earth in the reverse.
Yeah.
The planet.
Most plausible
Check.
one
the
yet.
most powerful one.
A straight up time machine. A la the time. I check.
Mm-hmm.
Portals, like ripping portals open and passing through them.
Wormholes,
And then, I guess in contact, like an alien technology machine.
And I would
Wormholes,
put
black holes.
spaceship
Yeah.
because when you have something like Interstellar,
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, I forgot
That's
that
a
one. You're absolutely right.
grab
Or
that
something like
black
an
hole.
airplane.
Black
right?
hole.
Even
Yeah.
airplanes.
1,
true.
2, 3,
Experience
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 different.
That's pretty
But
good.
what about the scepter from Ninja Turtles 3?
Ooh.
Turtles in Time.
Going
Yeah,
outside
man.
my
Never saw it, man. I was done with the Turtles after the
Wait,
second
did you
one.
say hot tub? You said hot tub.
I didn't say the hot tub. Ooh,
Oh.
That's
we
on-
missed
that's
the
on
hot
list.
tub.
my bad. I never saw that movie.
I
This
think
is the key to
drunk
all
in a
of
hot
this.
tub is it get wasn't
All right,
just
Oh,
the
and
hot
then
tub.
also just alcohol.
Alcohol.
Yeah?
It's a great movie.
Yeah,
Great-
when-
no, it's
from
just a
from
great way to
life.
time travel.
I've
when you
teleported
lose
straight
8
through
hours
many
at a
nights.
time.
Yeah.
That's
Aaron,
another medium.
Aaron,
We call
I
it
feel bad. What do you
Jägermeister
wanna
and
say about
vodka.
Futurama. What'd you want to say? What'd you want to say?
Oh, it's just great. It's
Well, and
just wanted to
Futurama
praise
is
it.
something that nobody else like we talk about. And we said at the very beginning when you're
Futurama's
traveling through
different,
time,
right?
there's clocks everywhere. Why are there always clocks and calendars in time?
Flipping the pages.
They're
and shit.
useless there. That's the one place where they do nothing.
That's a good point.
Interesting.
Yeah. Fucking who needs a clock when you're
It's
a
ridiculous.
time traveler?
Glad you saved your
Nonetheless,
anger for
they are there, so they must be.
there's just
Deal
a
with
genre
it.
At the end of
What time
Futurama,
is it?
when
Who
they traveled in
cares?
time, it's like, oh, we must have traveled through time. How can you tell? We've taken out a lot of clocks.
Okay, what else do we need to talk about with time travel?
Lost in Space remake, clearly. Because somehow we need to work in spider
Oh my
monsters.
God.
People really like that movie, huh? Is that
I kind of
is that
remember
a
that
cult
movie.
following, kind of?
It does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what
I
got
remember seeing
scratched
that in
and
the
turned into a
theater. That was one of the
Spider-Man?
scariest
Yeah.
That
movies I
freaked the
saw in
hell
the
out
theater
of
when I
me.
was
Wow.
younger.
That was super gross. I think
Yeah.
that started my aversion to body horror.
Yeah, that shit was fucked.
I think that was the
Body
end of Matt
horror.
LeBlanc's
Body
career.
horror.
When he gets scratched and turns into a spider thing.
What
seen
the
this
shit
movie,
is going on?
Yeah, it's not cool.
It's fantastic bad movie.
Anyway.
Lost in Space, huh? Doesn't it have like Joey in it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
from Friends?
Yep.
Joey.
Pilot.
All right, here's my last comment.
All right.
I'm done with this topic.
Ridiculous.
Or are you starting with this topic?
Oh! Irrelevant.
Maybe you've always been tired of this
What are all these
topic.
clocks doing around my head? I suddenly see lots of
The
calendars
room is
flipping
filling
pages.
with clocks.
I got a comment for you, for your consideration. Will the Star Wars franchise ever fuck around with time travel?
What do you
Is
mean?
it
Good question.
Intriguing.
because you're like,
Will they ever
would
introduce that?
would they ever introduce that? What do you think?
I mean, does force, cognition of past and future
There's,
events
like-
count?
There's prophecies, right?
Yeah, but it's not any degree of like specificity ever.
Right, because if they could travel through time, they would just fix a whole bunch
I feel
of
like
shit.
they just got a good thing going. They probably shouldn't touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I mean,
If you're Star Wars,
If you're
like you were saying, time travel is what you do when you're out of ideas.
That's a good point.
What do we do?
They just
let's go
reboot
back
movies.
then.
They don't need to do time travel.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, J.J. Abrams already fucking does it. That dickhead.
but check this
Time
out.
travel?
Is rebooting a movie also not a form
That's
of
the
time
15th
travel?
form. Reboots.
Oh,
The reboot.
reboots. Yeah.
That's a way around it, Aaron. Right? That's a way around.
Let's
time
just
travel.
remake A New Hope again.
Hey,
Wait.
Wait, why were there so many clocks in that movie?
Closing thoughts on time travel. Richie.
oh Jesus.
Well researched.
Do you like it? Do you enjoy it?
That's the best.
You think it's fun to watch movies with time travel?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
Good. Aaron?
I think it always makes a movie more fun. Sometimes it makes it more fun because it's nonsense and it loses all sense of flow or meaning in the movie. And sometimes this is really interesting. You're like, wow, that's cool. Makes you go back, watch it again, and think about, oh, how does this connect in with how the time travel is working? So it's good.
It gets you thinking about shit.
Good stuff. Good
Good
stuff.
shit, time travel.
Good.
Josh?
Seconding Aaron's point, it is really powerful mojo. Like when you do it well, it makes something wonderful. When you do it poorly, it makes it horror show, which can be its own wonderful thing. Like it's nice to revel in the hot tub time machine of like, wow, if you actually sit here and think about this either makes a ton of sense or it's absolute.
Am I the only one who hasn't seen this movie? I didn't want to finish the line because I'm pissed off about this
Fair
hot
enough.
tub time machine.
Aaron, you've got your hands in the air like you
sounds
just
dumb
don't
as
We
hell.
care.
didn't even talk about
pretty
Austin Powers 2.
Yeah.
Is there time
Why
travel?
was
in the movie?
Why
Of
would
course.
Wow, how could we miss it?
True
You
point.
forget him jumping into the giant time
Spiral
wheel.
thing.
Yes!
that's
Oh,
another
there you
thing.
go. Another vector.
That's another thing.
Spirals.
Weird, colorful spirals.
That freezes
To
you
be
and
fair,
freezes
spirals
you
seem
and
to be
spins you.
a pretty common time travel portal
That's
mechanic.
true,
They
yeah.
should have had clocks floating in it.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't remember the original Time Machine, it was basically one of those go-karts that you put on a ponds with a big fan in the back.
Yeah.
And the faster the fan...
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
it was
fan
like,
might
an
have been a
exercise
clock.
bike, kind of.
Again, why is a clock indicative of time
Like a
travel?
goddamn
Because
airboat
clocks
from
are
the
time,
Everglades.
Yeah.
obviously.
Yes. It's a stupid plot device. I like time travel movies. I don't know. I think it's fun too.
Who doesn't love them?
I like to think about shit. So, my final question is let's think about something real here with time travel for you two, and we'll just laugh.
Yeah, that's fine.
Is any form of time travel even remotely going to be possible at any point in time?
We've made the joke too often of 1 second per second. So instead, I'm going to say,
Moving forward in
referencing
time.
back to a child's sign, what do we want time travel? When do we want it? Arbitrary.
Hey.
I think, if you're curious, though, the thing that will be possible might, not soon, but some point in the future, take an advantage of time dilation.
Because that's something that is real, that exists around us, that if we ever got out to something massive enough where you could potentially hang out around it, time would flow differently there.
Or you
Getting
just move fast enough.
out of that gravity well would suck, but if you can eventually reach close to relativistic speeds, then you're going to have a completely different experience of time than someone who's not.
Okay, bonus addendum to the question.
But that's only forward, though. What about backward?
Backward is way more
I was just
complex
gonna say.
you're
Oh, did I steal that
No,
from you?
no,
I'm sorry.
you knew what I was saying.
Yeah.
Because you heard
Precognition.
it in the future.
You know what I'm
But
saying?
you've changed fate, so
So-
now I have to say it anyway.
Yeah.
What about backwards in time? 'Cause
There's
I
a
have no
really
free will.
troubling thing in physics that is entropy, and it always goes in one direction. So our whole understanding of time is based on that kind of linear approach. For it to go anywhere but that is, to my understanding, outside of physics.
Okay.
And again, quoting internet things, entropy, it's not what it used to be.
Hey.
Nice.
Yeah.
Last addendum. We talked a lot about movies that have parallel timelines in them. Is there any sort of scientific basis for thinking that there are parallel timelines to something that we're all experiencing together right now?
Absolutely. I mean, this is a thing from quantum mechanics. One of the interpretations of it is that there are many worlds. Every time an action happens, every time a choice is made, every time some event takes place, if there are several different outcomes to it, different universes now exist having those outcomes taking place inside of them. And so that's totally possible. No reason to think it's true, but it's totally possible.
And it's one of those things where, like, we have no possible way of interacting with any of those universes. And a great thinker said, if there is matters which we have no evidence, we must remain silent. So science can't touch that idea in any meaningful experiment, but it's a really cool explanation for some of the weirder parts we've observed.
Also makes for great, terrible Terminator movies.
Wow.
Interesting. All right, I got one last question.
Boson.
Bummer.
Higgs boson, word,
Thing,
science,
particle,
word.
accelerator thing.
Fractal.
All right, I got a question for the panel. This is
Fractal.
really my last thing. If you could time travel, forward or back,
Good closer.
totally on your own terms, where would you go and why? Make it pertinent to your life. I don't want to hear, like, I'd go back and kill Hitler. Like, everybody does that. You know, like, go back and kill Hitler. Oh, yeah, what about Mao? You know, like, he gets to hang around. What about Bush? Like, he gets to hang around too? So everybody's so fucking programmed nowadays. So anyway,
Hitler.
I'd go back and kill Hitler. I'd go back and kill Hitler.
Hitler's dad.
Oh, all right.
That's Terminator.
Richie.
That's the Terminator.
That's what
back
we
and
just
kill
did.
Terminator?
Every movie is a derivation of somebody's conversation.
No,
about,
I like this.
Man,
This
I
is
wish
good.
we could go back and kill Hitler, and they just go further out from that. And we have all the time travel movies.
All right,
all right. What would
Richie,
we do?
What would you do?
Well,
Would you go
here's-
forward, backward, and what would you do? It's got to be about your life, all right?
Well, what about
Wait, my life? Only
Yeah.
my
What about,
time frame?
Something to change your life. Yeah.
No,
Or go in the future and see
Or,
something.
that's lame. I don't
Yeah,
care
no,
about
or in the past to affect your life now.
Okay, that...
can you
okay.
get back?
You can get back.
Yeah,
Critical
go back.
question.
Critical
Can I
question.
get
You can get back to this
Back
moment
before.
right now,
Okay.
and you can be living the dream.
I'd probably just go back and not go to college because I feel like that was a big waste.
Kids, stay in school.
All right,
for
Richie.
for me personally,
All
it's like
right.
really expensive and just a lot of time, and I don't think I
Yes.
All right, Aaron.
See, if it's personal, I guess mine's the opposite. I'd go back and not fuck up as much as I did.
I love it.
Okay, so mine, bending the rules slightly. There are moments where a huge amount of knowledge has been lost. So I would say the thing that I would want to do is go back, first learn Coptic, learn Egyptian, learn Greek, all the languages I could, and go back to the Library of Alexandria. Because there's stuff that you just have, the knowledge is gone. It doesn't exist anymore, and I think conserving that would be amazing, because we would have had calculus way before we have calculus now, and that would affect my life. Bending the rules.
What happens when you go back and you get a whole bunch of like recipes for wheat barley?
Yeah. Then you,
What the hell's a wheat barley?
then you make some killer fucking
Beer.
wheat bars.
No, Library of Alexandria, absolute number one. Number two, I wouldn't lose all my magic cards in Fort.
Marvel Series 2.
I don't even know where mine are. Fuck.
I left them in a hotel room. I will regret that for the rest of my life.
Son of a...
That's,
My Power Rangers watch.
That's
I could
Westerns.
return it.
Do I have the knowledge that I have now when I go back?
Yes, man, yes. I said
you
it's totally
don't-
on your terms.
Okay, so I would take the time travel approach where I would know everything I know now, but I would go back to... This sounds so stupid.
You would go back in time to write the song I Wish
I would go back and
I knew what I know now when I was younger.
I would go back and I would do everything everybody has done to be famous. No, I'd go back to right when I started high school, and I would do everything that I fucked up correctly, and probably without all my free will, fuck everything else up and get to this same point and go,
And get hit by a horse.
fuck. And I'd have just massive scarring and things.
You'd
Just
get
it'd be bad.
hoof prints all over you.
I would try to make up for so much shit that I would like to fix. I'd go the regrets route, and I would end up here with the same classic fable where I'm cursed with probably the same exact faults and everything that I tried to erase.
Plus a goatee.
What if it's my fucking story? Then I'm perfect back in this
Then you
moment
get to
right
do
now.
it. Then
All right,
you
what
get
about
to do
you?
All right, so this is a movie podcast. It's a comedy podcast. I'm gonna go back to my freshman year in college and never get with my XXXXX girlfriend because
yes.
that was 3 years of my life that could have been prime dating.
Love.
And as listeners to the podcast know, I watched fucking the double VHS copy of Titanic like every weekend for multiple semesters.
That too is something that I would like to erase from my high school dating
I would go
career.
back,
I would
maybe
erase
date
that.
her, maybe date her real quick, and then realize there's a lot
Smoke
more.
bomb out of there.
And realize like, wait a minute, I got a lot more to see and do around here.
That's
Instead
He's
of-
gotta do
much
the beef
watching
walk.
Titanic.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Or I'd just go
Richie,
back
you
with
have
a
no
cell phone and just pull it out at random times.
I
and
am
go,
your
hello?
god.
And
So-
just fucking weird
But
people out.
With all the poop from the time machine, you just look like a
Right,
crazy
yeah.
person
Yes.
on the street.
I'm proud of the crew though at the table because everybody had like kind of a meaningful one. Maybe not me, but
Yours is meaningful.
But,
debt sucks.
money saving.
no one just went with like the Biff move, which is totally kind of the move.
I thought
Yes.
about
you
saying
know what
that
I mean?
as a
Just
joke.
get the
The
almanac.
Biff move is the
the
move.
almanac.
That's
I
the
mean,
ultimate
realistically,
time move.
yeah,
Just get the almanac and
you're
that's
right.
it, and you're fine.
Bet on the '86 Mets.
And then you have that weird tiny gun,
I mean,
silk robe.
you could literally, nobody could stop you. You could just little by little, you know? Oh, time travel thread. Boom. Has anybody read or seen anything about
Doctor
the
Who.
movie about stopping the Kennedy assassination?
What?
The Stephen
Oh,
King
yeah.
book.
They did like a TV series.
They pulled the Biff move in it. That's what I was gonna say.
Somebody did the
they
Biff?
did the Biff move, except they blew it. I was like, how do you fuck up the Biff move?
Because they've
It's-
always failed and will
Oh
always
my
fail.
god.
Jesus
right, with
Christ.
The Biff move. We are out of time. Maybe. I don't know. We have who fucking knows
Yeah,
anymore.
You know this is time travel because this episode felt like it took forever.
Oh.
Bada bing.
Boom.
Sorry.
There it is. Loud on the set with Kyle and James. And today, Richie, Aaron, and Josh. Thanks, guys, for being here.
It's a pleasure.
Spending some of your precious time with us. Fuck this. All right. You can catch us on YouTube and iTunes, anywhere you find podcasts. We're there. Let us know what your favorite time travel movies are, the worst time travel movies, loudontheset@gmail.com. I want to hear them. If you guys think of any after we leave the studio, send them in. We'll talk about them later. It'll be fun. Go out and watch some of those fun movies and have a wonderful time.
See you later.
Be excellent to each other.
Party on, dudes.
We have to go back.
And cut.